Mateus is a co-worker who had heard me speak about street epistemology at a company learning event. I caught up with him as he was running to catch the rapid ride in Seattle. My name is Nick, and this is Conversations on the Coast. You made it.
Could have walked.
You could have walked. It's easy.
Yeah.
Are you taking the D?
Yeah.
Are you interested in doing an interview on the bus while we ride?
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Is your mic good enough for all the noise?
I mean, I've been trying it. It seems to be okay.
Oh, fantastic.
I mostly do it for a record, and I have a community that I use for feedback.
And what's the interview for? Let me get the heads up on that. Actually.
Yeah. So what it's about is we pick something that you believe is true,
Okay.
or that you value. It can be whatever you want. Thank you. And then we take some time to talk about. Yeah, we can sit down if you want. And then we take some time to talk about the main reasons that you believe it, and then we try to unpack, for the reasons that you believe, what methods do you use to determine what things are true or to determine what to believe. So the process is called street epistemology, not street because it's on the street, although we literally are. Street because it's for lay people. And epistemology is the philosophical study of knowledge.
Okay.
So that's what it is. So we don't really talk about the belief so much. It's just about the methods.
I think I heard.
Does that sound interesting?
I heard this term from. Did you present on this?
I did.
For Expedia.
I did.
Yeah. I was in that call.
Awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
so you already have a little bit of a heads up about that.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, I do a talk called it's been evolving, but it's now called The Four Disciplines, and it's about techniques and attitudes and conversational techniques to use in difficult situations.
Okay.
This is usually not a difficult situation but it can be. Like if you're talking with someone who's like on the quote unquote other side politically, or something you have.
My brain was definitely going through a lot of thoughts on what topics or what to use as an example.
Yeah.
So the question is,
it can be anything. It can be anything you.
And right now we're recording, right?
Yeah. Okay. We're rolling. So anyway, I'm Nick.
Mateus.
Oh, I think I remember you from the call. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I actually just posted to the Seattle community channel to say,
nice.
Hey, is anybody interested in doing this at work? Because usually, I do this. I do pickups at bus stations or the train station. And
very friendly for Seattle.
And do that
for Seattle. Yeah,
I'm trying to overcome my natural assholicness.
Okay. It's working.
To be nicer, and it helps me. I meet people and we have interesting conversations. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you believe? What do you?
Anything, right?
Yeah, it could be anything. But it's probably more meaningful if it's something that colors how you act, because. If it's something that shapes the way you behave, then that has an impact on the people around you, and on the world, right?
Well,
and so it's
something I believe in strongly is. This is a tough one. I feel like.
Go ahead. There's no judgment here. I take a completely neutral position.
All men.
Yeah.
Or men.
Yeah.
Should go to therapy.
Nice.
And it's something I strongly believe in.
Okay, I like that. So when you say all men, are you talking in of like mankind, like all people, or are you specifically male gendered people?
Male gender people.
Okay.
Yes,
cool.
I believe all males should go to therapy, yeah.
Okay, and when you talk about therapy, like, do you want to like define that more?
Yeah. I think to start simple, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, as I call it, talk therapy.
Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic to start. But yeah, I think that kind of therapy is definitely helpful because as men, whether traditionally speaking, from a religious perspective or societal perspective, we're kind of taught at a young age to not voice opinions or emotions, or as a society maybe doesn't look good externally for men to do so.
Yeah.
But as men, we still have emotions. We still process feelings and things. And
Yeah.
if we don't talk to, sometimes men might talk about it with their partner or friends, but sometimes they just never talk about any of these things. And it would be nice to have a place, professional place,
Yeah.
objective, that they can rely on to talk about their things.
Okay. So why would men need to do that in the therapeutic context as opposed to just doing that in daily life, like expressing their emotions? What's the differentiating factor there?
I think there is a lot of shame to do that on the daily life.
Okay.
There's a lot of hesitation. There's a lot of either you're looked down as a man because you are quote unquote weak, whether it's from a societal perspective or women or friends. There's a lot of pressure out there that I feel like having a place that it's kind of like if you have a wine professional, their job is to make the best wine and make sure the clients drink the best wine, and so they put time and effort into it. They're not perfect, but that's their job. I feel like therapists have the same job for humans, to help them give that safe space, that welcoming environment, so people can open up and not have no judgment, which is another very key point, is like the no judgment zone.
Yeah, that sounds good. So you feel like in normal society there might be judgment for that.
Yes.
So why do you believe that there is that judgment? And I don't mean what is the cause of the judgment. I mean, why do you believe that judgment exists?
I think initially maybe from a survival instinct. Not sure if I'm answering the question though.
No, I think the question you started to answer is what is the reason for the judgment? And what I'm asking is, what is the reason for your belief that the judgment exists?
Well, from personal experience.
Is it possible that you're imagining the judgment? I guess.
Right. So I guess, where do I get the data from? To make this assumption or statement? Well, personal experience. I'm from Italy and Brazil.
Okay.
So I'm half Italian, half Brazilian. Culturally, I'm dual citizen. So I lived in 3 different cultures, I guess. And from talking to men, from talking to therapists, so a lot of personal experience and anecdotes from other people, including podcasts, and looking at statistics that different governmental agencies reported on. There is a strong indication that maybe this can be helpful for at least the average person, if we look at numbers.
So why is your personal experience a good reason to believe that all men should go to therapy?
Oh, that's a good question. I think a lot of times when I think about this is because when I try to think about my personal experience and when I talk to men about this, I share simply what I've been through and what my learnings and experience has been. I'm very outspoken about this topic.
Yeah.
When somebody gets to know me a little better, and I tend to have very good conversations, and where people feel similarly on not necessarily that they need therapy, but on the fact that they enjoy and feel happy and positive about this safe space that this type of conversations created.
So, okay.
I guess a positive response from all the people I've talked to leads me to think this could be good for all men. That's why initially I was like, all men is it's a tough one, because saying all of them is 100%.
Right.
But I think the average man, what is the average man? Give it a numbers or quantity, to how many people should do it.
So there was an interesting moment a minute ago that I want to acknowledge, and I think this was a good moment where I asked you why your personal experience, right, was a good reason to believe, and you went to, I think you changed the reason then to talk about the reactions that you get from people when you talk about it.
Right.
Okay. So how is that qualitatively different from just your own experience in terms of a reason to believe something?
Could you rephrase that question?
So you talked about two different reasons for believing this belief. One is your personal experience.
Yes.
And then the second one was the reactions of other people when you talk to them.
Correct.
So what's, in terms of reasons to believe something, what is different between just you listening to your personal experience and you listening to other people reflecting back to you?
Oh. But when you listen to other people, I feel like it shows that everybody's different. They have their own unique path that is different than mine.
Okay.
It just gives I think it gives a very different perspective on angle on their life, or why maybe it will help them to talk to somebody, like a professional person. But then it's nice to see that they have a positive reaction to still the outcome of talking to a person.
Yeah.
So it's just like widening, like covering more ground, and like I'm just one person.
Right.
Now I have 10 people that share similar. They have different life stories, but they share similar positive input on therapy.
Yeah.
So I think it's more powerful that way than just my story.
To what degree do you think that your choice of who to tell these stories to colors the reaction that you get back?
So because I share my experience, there'll be like, that might correlate to them having a positive response because I had a positive initial experience.
Yeah.
Very subjective.
Yeah, let me try asking a slightly different question that gets to the same thing. If you think you picked 100 men randomly on the street, complete random selection, do you believe that you'll get the same positive reaction from all of them that you get from the people that you choose to share with, who might be your friends, who you might have selected to be in your life, or selected to share certain things that you're comfortable sharing with?
Oh, it would be very different. It could be very different reactions. Yeah, very different reactions. Okay. Yeah. So friends are much different, much more connected. So then they know you.
So then is the feedback that you get from your friends a good reason to believe that something is true?
No, it's very biased. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good time, good moment to wind it up.
No, thank you. Thank you for the questions. This was a fun one.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like your, for the record, I completely agree with you. Right? This is not about, right?
No, but I love this type of conversation.
Yeah, this is about unpacking the reasons for belief and things like that. And it's something I'm trying to practice a lot. So I've started like recruiting people on bus rides and train rides and all that. I actually, if you remember, or if one of us remembers to contact the other, I can send you a friend and I have a friend or a colleague in this area who has a YouTube channel where he does these things. And he came out and he filmed me a couple of times having these conversations. He does this too. He's a matter of fact, he's much more expert than I am. And I had a crazy idea to do this on the light rail.
Okay. And
so we went out and we spent a whole day on interviewing people on the light rail with video, and he's going to start dropping those on his channel.
What's your stack again?
It's Ndallet, Ndallett.
Ndal. Nick Dallett.
That's me.
Oh, so.
All right. Cool. Mateus.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Pleasure. Talk to you later.
Man, thank you. You bet.
You've been listening to Conversations on the Coast, a series from Washington State featuring civil conversations using street epistemology to explore what people believe and why. Find out more at streetepistemology.com.